Hello, everyone. My name is Ajay Chawla. I lead the delivery for service transformation practice for Americas, and I'm responsible for ServiceNow programs in this region of Americas. I'm very excited about to be the part of Infosys Cobalt Cloud Conversation Series. Today's topic, an interesting one. It's all about the role of cloud-based platform and accelerators to enhance the customer service experience. To take the conversation to the next level, we have Nitin Badjatia, who serves as a Senior Director, Product Management for ServiceNow Customer Workflows product line. During his 4 years at ServiceNow, he has taken Customer Service Management, CSM, from a niche position to a leadership position in the Gartner MQ. He's a 25-year veteran of enterprise customer service applications and worked in companies like Siebel Systems, RightNow Technologies, Oracle, and in different strategy roles. Nitin has also led business strategy knowledge management pioneer Nova Software. In 2011, Nitin was awarded the Consortium for Service Innovation Innovator Award for extensive contributions to the industry. With that said, I would like to welcome Nitin. Nitin, thank you for joining us for this session.
Thank you, Ajay, and thank you for everyone at Infosys for inviting me. I'd like to add that the partnership between ServiceNow and Infosys has been fabulous, particularly for us within customer workflows. We are a relatively new product within the ServiceNow stack, but the cohesion with your vision for the future and what we're building is really well aligned. And so I'm looking forward to this conversation.
So Nitin, let's start with the first question here. The customer experience landscape is making progress towards seamless and simple customer experience. Based on your experience, what are the enterprises are looking for to transform digitally to meet their expectations of customers or consumers?
Sure. So let me take it from the perspective of the customer or the consumer. I've not met or I've never experienced a customer experience in which I wanted to know the complexity of the company I was engaging with. Yet, we've over the last decade or so focused on the experience, which is essentially a moment in time, and lost track of the fact that outcomes are what deliver value. And so most organizations have optimized their experiences quite well. And we continue to build an experience layer that is optimized for care at the point of need. But outcomes are what people are looking for, value they're looking for. That requires you to connect all of the value chain back into the customer experience. And that is the opportunity that you all at Infosys and I are looking to bring to our customers.
Yeah, totally agree with you on the outcomes delivering the value. But my next question to you is more towards the challenges. Okay, what are the challenges you are seeing it? I'll give you some examples. What we see: disconnected systems, delayed resolutions of issues, below par customer experience. What have you seen, and how is the CSM helping out here with these challenges?
Again, I think it's very similar, right? I think that the promise of digital connectivity has driven the engagement layer to a point where the customer dictates the channel of their choice. And so for the last decade or so, most vendors in this space have focused on building out those channel capacity, and we have done that as well. But as I mentioned before, customers aren't looking for just that initial experience. They're looking for an outcome. They're looking for an answer. More often than not, the customer service operations are disconnected from where that answer might reside. Often that answer resides in a middle office or in a back office. It may reside in siloed systems, that might be, let's say, for billing or for supply chain that are, from a customer service perspective, oftentimes a swivel chair activity. They have to rotate over to another system to go find that information. This point of frustration is actually manifested in two ways. One is first and foremost for the customer, because they expect the response quickly. The bar has been set by many organizations that do this well. And secondly, it's for that customer services organization that's also frustrated because they often feel like they operate on an island, and they are the last to know of updates, the last to know of marketing changes. Connecting all of these components behind the scenes is really critical.
Okay, thanks. So let's take this to the next question or next level itself. Nitin, as enterprise realize that the importance of modernization, the customer service to address customer concerns proactively, which you said, how does ServiceNow CSM fit into addressing customer issues? If you could give us some examples here, that would be great. Even whatever the solution is coming from ServiceNow, the verticalization piece, the industry solutions, if you could just cite some examples here, that would be great. Yeah.
Sure. So, when you think about the world of customer service, and it falls into the larger bucket of CRM or customer relationship management, technologies that have been around for a generation now. I actually like to refer to the acronym as customer records management. It's an activity log against a contact record. Work gets done elsewhere. We're focused on the work. We can be the system of record, but the work that needs to be done to continue to deliver the brand promise of companies often requires you to connect back into other departments, siloed operations, siloed systems. This is where we primarily take the platform of ServiceNow and the concept of structuring work into workflows and operationalize that. A good example of that is some collaborative work we've done with Infosys around complaints management. We know that complaints management is a critical, function within financial services. As one would recognize, in financial services, complaints can be, first of all, from a brand promise perspective, they're a competitive differentiator. If you can respond to a complaint faster, you're likely to retain a customer. But it's also a regulatory challenge from two perspectives. One is response, time lapse, and the second is from an audit trail perspective. I know that Infosys has done quite a bit of work in this space. What we have found as we've taken complaints management from the work that you've done in financial services is we've seen it extend out into industries that are beyond, the financial services space. I know that you're working on insurance, but I'm also seeing the work that we've done with complaints management manifests itself in manufacturing, manifests itself in telecommunications, and quite frankly, even in retail. Because most organizations, when you think about a complaint, it's typically more complex than a simple one and done. Oftentimes you have to invoke different departments, and what we do is we orchestrate that work all on the platform, so it becomes seamless to the customer, but also it can be managed at scale across the enterprise.
Yes, true, Nitin. True. See, on the as part of this whole complaints management series also, what we have done, and it's true that we are moving beyond the financial industry itself. Like you took the example of insurance, we are working towards there. As part of the Infosys Cobalt series, we have a product called ESM Cafe. We are basically verticalizing the solution, okay, in different areas. The second area which we are doing this is also in the telco area, okay. And it will be introduced as part of the TSM in future, but that's how we are doing it. Okay. So that's in a nutshell. I think the approach together will come and solve many vertical industry solutions with this.
So I was just going to add, one of the great powerful elements when you start exposing unstructured work into structured workflows is you start to recognize common patterns across industries. And for us in product management, this is invaluable. When we took complaints management from financial services and we looked at it and we abstracted it out, said these are common traits across every industry, and this is where the Infosys ServiceNow relationship really accelerates the way that our joint customers can see value. because we can share learnings across the board once workflows are structured, and recognize that and productize those.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you. What are some of the customers looking to improve in their current CSM platform? And what enterprises need to watch out with this whole CSM experience? So if you could just elaborate and cite some examples there, that would be great too.
Sure. So I think, it ultimately comes back to what I mentioned before. For the last 10, 15 years, customer experience has been the primary driver of investment in customer service. And experience really is landing in the channels where your customers are at and offering them, a convenient way to connect to solve for resolution. Those channels we have also built, but again, as I mentioned before, it is not the experience alone that customers are waiting for. They want meaningful outcomes. And so we're focused on connecting those experiences to where the value is for driving meaningful outcomes. The other thing that's happening is across every industry, across almost every aspect of the global economy, you're seeing a significant shift between business models towards more of a subscription-based model. And what's fascinating about that business model is, ownership is not transferred in subscriptions, but value is. And oftentimes, when value is transferred and there's a break in the value chain, you run the risk of losing future revenue. And so what that does is it takes what was historically a defensive position of customer service, which was you stood this organization up and you waited for something to happen. That no longer works. You need to now get ahead of the curve and actually drive value, and consistently reinforce and go proactive in making sure that you work and solve for problems that might be occurring well before even customers are aware. So there's two shifts that are taking place. One is, this idea that the value chain cannot be broken in a subscription model. And so you need to have more, proactive capabilities, and that's something that we're building. And the other is connecting those investments that you've made on the customer experience side back into the places where the value is being generated, so you can deliver outcomes that matter.
So this was an interesting conversation, Nitin. We talked about simple customer experience, challenges we see today, how ServiceNow CSM and Infosys Cobalt fit to address these issues, how we are working together with the industry approach of CSM, examples, compliance management for the finance industries, and that can be utilized in different verticals. And we're also working together in the telco vertical too. So stating that, great to have you, Nitin, here. I would like to thank you for being part of this Infosys Cobalt series and looking forward to our future conversations. Thank you again, Nitin. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the time.